Hi, WVBL radio listeners. This is DJ Jammin Jade, and joining me by phone from Detroit, the one-of-a-kind Whitney Waz. Whitney Waz, I would like to thank you for joining us today here on WVBL radio.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm super excited to be here.
It's been a little bit of a challenge with the weather yesterday, I understand. You folks had a pretty good storm up there, I understood, yesterday. How's things going up there now regarding that?
Lucky for me, my house did not get flooded, but actually my brother and my parents, they both got flooded from that.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I've seen some pictures of Metro Airport, Detroit Metro Airport. A lot of flooding over there.
Yeah, I actually used to be a flight attendant, so a bunch of my friends who are still currently flight attendants were like super delayed, like even stuck wherever they were. They could not fly into Detroit because of the flooding.
Yeah, I heard that similar stories like that as well.
Crazy.
My spouse Jen, I think she had a friend or a coworker or somebody that was in a similar situation with a flight. So, but for those who may not know, Downriver is a reference to the southern suburbs of Detroit. One thing many people do not know, at least not until now, I am also originally from the Downriver area. Not just from Downriver, but I graduated from Flat Rock High School, and Whitney Waz graduated from Carlson High School in Gibraltar. Flat Rock High School and Gibraltar High School are historically rivals, and what is ironic, neither one of us knew where each one of us was from when we decided to do this interview. So, yeah, exactly. Unless you're from Downriver, unless you're from Flat Rock and Gibraltar, you probably don't really will understand that.
Right, exactly. They're like so close.
Absolutely. Did you play any sports when you went to Gibraltar?
Yeah, I actually was a Carlson cheerleader. We won a couple state championships over there. It's actually really funny that you went to Flat Rock because one of my good friends, she also went to Flat Rock and was a Flat Rock cheerleader, and we always like mess around with her like, oh, you should have came over to Carlson and actually, you know.
right. I actually,
yeah, we're jerks.
right. There's always that, that little bit of friendly rivalry always going on.
Yeah.
I actually ran cross country for Flat Rock. I was a varsity runner for Flat Rock, and
oh no.
And when we ran against you folks, especially when Gibraltar came over to Flat Rock, and if your team didn't place very well, your coach was brutal, man. He would make the whole team run back from Flat Rock all the way to Gibraltar High School for losing.
That's like on my cheerleading career.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure when you graduated, but back in my day, coaches were pretty old school and pretty brutal sometimes.
I actually graduated in 2013, so we just had my class reunion a couple of weeks ago. I wasn't able to actually go to the event because I was performing. I had a show. It was in Hamtramck, I believe.
Awesome.
But I was able to like meet up with some friends after, which was pretty cool because they like have been seeing what I'm doing with music and stuff, and they're like, "Dude, Whitney, you're like actually gonna go places." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, that's the goal."
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool when your like peers are supportive, and it's like, okay, now the ball is rolling because those are the hardest people to get to support you.
Yeah, sometimes.
People that are you.
Yep, sometimes. I've had many business ventures over the years, and some have been supported, some haven't been, and when you get that support, it's so really nice to have for sure.
Yeah, and my thing is like I've always seen other independent artists that are like, if you don't support me, then like screw you, basically.
Right.
And I I don't want you to just right off rip be like, oh yeah, I know she's dope. Like I want to have to convince you, because once I convince you, you're more, you're going to believe me for the long run. If you just like all of a sudden are like, hey, I really like her because she looks like she's dope, you're probably not going to pay as much attention, So I like that. It's like a challenge. Like, okay, that's cool that you don't believe in me, but I'm going to make sure you eventually do.
There you go. It's sometimes I get motivated someone tells me I can't do something or I won't succeed, I'm like, watch me.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Watch me go.
sometimes that can be the best motivation as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so we were just talking before we went on the air here. I'm broadcasting from Western Indiana, and we were just talking about how you can take the person out of downriver, but you just can't take the downriver out of the person. So it was just funny. So when we first started talking, it was just like we knew each other in a way, because it's like we already had that connection, that friendly rivalry going on between the two schools.
Yeah, definitely. That downriver is running through our blood.
Absolutely. Okay. What we're gonna do next is what do you say that we say your bio for our listeners, and they can get to know you a little bit better, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, WBBL radio listeners, here is DJ Zena with Whitney Waz's bio, edited for radio.